Well, I was driving home in the Carlos. It's about like 8 in the morning right now. It smells really hot. There's a car here. You can smell hot. I looked right at that. I'm like, damn, we need a thermostat. That's a perfect video. I'm gonna run to the parts store, grab a thermostat, a gasket, and some sealer, and some extra coolant just in case. You ever looking for a sign of a bad thermostat? See how it's all regular size and then it's all swollen right there? It means all the hot fluids like right here. We're back. I'm gonna run to the parts. What is up, guys? Jonesy, back with the Jonesy channel. So we are now back. It is a different day as when, was it yesterday? I said that I need the thermostat replaced with the hose. I had to order the parts because the Autoport store did not have it. It's Oldsmobile and they don't make Oldsmobile stuff anymore. I didn't do anything yet because I gotta get most of it on camera for you guys to see. But telltale sign of a bad thermostat, not always, but it's a good sign because you can see it. This will bulge. Your thermostat will bulge a little bit. So what we're gonna try to do here, to drain some of the coolant. I got some new stuff over here. All this stuff costs about 50 bucks. This kit with the thermostat, the gasket, and the actual housing with the heater cord 2V thingy, all cost 17 bucks. It's not bad. I know that you can probably keep this hose and be fine, but this usually is a telltale sign. Every car I've had that had this issue, it'll swell up right here. It's a good telltale sign. Doesn't always happen, but it's nice. So what we'll do is drain some of the coolant and so keep the levels down a little bit because I don't really want to make a mess. Probably gonna make a mess, but we'll get that situated and I'll get back to you soon. But if you guys didn't know, I love it when like 30-minute projects turn into probably like 2-3 hours now. Fucking cracked this. I don't know if you can see that moving. Cracked this part. So that's fucking fan-fucking-tastic. I was hoping for that to actually happen today just because I wanted to stay out here on an Easter day. I don't know what the fuck that was. But, so we put some we drained it a little bit. Not much because it's gonna get messy. But anyway, put some PB Blaster on the 3 bolts I need to take off. It's funny because I've done a lot of these and I've never had an Oldsmobile. And these actually have a different base on them because of this little heater hose that's supposed to go down. And the gasket looks different because I actually have a good amount of these sitting around other than not the whole part like that. There's 3 holes, usually there's just 2, so just have to keep cautious of that. But yeah, we'll get these bolts off over here. You got 1 bolt over here, right there, you can see the shiny part. 1 right there, and then 1 in the back here that holds on. I believe this is for the cruise control. Just got it off, and it was more of a pain in the ass than I thought, so that's just dandy. But dirty coolant, which I'm not swapping out. But that's basically what it looks like. I gotta scrape off all that gasket so we have a clean seal when we go to it, because of course now I gotta run to the fucking parts store and grab gasket sealer. It's okay though. Old thermostat, when I pressed it like that, yeah, this thing's junko-roni. It just fucking fell apart. So this is the old one. The kit comes with a brand new one. And what I like to do personally, my uncle taught me this trick, other than when he touched me. Make sure they're the same. Of course they are. Just because you don't want to put it, you don't want to get halfway done and then, oh shit, I don't have the right part. So let's get off there. I'll do that up and then we'll go and get the gasket, the actual JB Weld or whatever to actually patch that. It's not a horrible crack, just sucks that happened. So that's part of it though with cars. As you can see, we got it all cleaned off. The gasket looks brand new. I used a little bit of prep spray and just a razor blade. Luckily it didn't come off. Usually the gasket kind of tries to fight you a little bit, depending on how long it's been on there. This one doesn't, it seems like it's been changed before. Use some prep spray on a little rag, whipped around there to have a good clean mating surface. So I actually just noticed something. The cat that did this before did it wrong. Because he went like this. I'll show you right now. So let me put this somewhere clean. He put the actual gasket down here, right? That was right. But then he took the thermostat and he plopped it in here, and you think, well, Dale, that's the right thing to do. You want to know why that's not the right thing to do? Because then this cat is just sliding all around. And on these cars, GM included, oh, this is GM, there's a little ridge right there, that little dark spot. This actually falls right in there, so it is set in place, can't move. A very thick here move. Go like this, put that on, put your housing on, and do that. So the guy actually had it on the wrong way. Not that the other way wouldn't work, which is not a good idea, because then coolant would always just seep through there. That would be the issue. Luckily, I guess we're doing this now because it just wasn't done the right way. That piece needs to sit down in. Now, everyone does this differently. This is the way I do it because I like being safe and I don't want to do things to get your gasket. Now, you don't always need sealant for it. Thermostat housing sealant. What I like to do is I put a thin bead, if I can get there we go, thin bead around your bolt holes too, because these are, I think you call them water jets or something like that, because the bolts, when you put them in, they're not blind holes, like they actually go into something. So you have coolant running around these bolts. It is not just going into a little casing. So you gotta be mindful of that. Go around your bolt holes, make sure you're covering all your bases, because you do not want this leaking. And of course, do not tighten it too much. Then, so now we got that thin bead on there, both sides. Then spread it around like so. So it's just a thin bead. I should have someone actually help me do this, because this is kind of a pain in the ass. I don't want to get shit on my camera. So I'm gonna have to put you down here in a sec. Both sides, and I will show you here. Got the gasket covered in sealant. Now when we drop this on, you're gonna want to see, now we got that thermostat down in there, down actually in the groove, so that is right. And then we're gonna just pop this down like this, take this housing, and then we're gonna drop it on there. I gotta do something else really quick before we do that. Down there, put the bolts in, and then we gotta run those through really quick and patch this radiator crack over here really quick, because I am not gonna just wing it, actually get some patch up for it. But that is how you do that, and I'll be right back when I get this doohickey on. It would be very hard for me to try to film all this, and you'd hear a lot of swear words. We got the housing on, the new housing, looking shiny, fresh and new. Now it's pretty much just putting back together, and it's pretty much just reverse assembly. We got the JB Weld at the local Tractor Supply. This stuff lasts up to 550 degrees Fahrenheit, which is definitely perfect. You got $2 off, so it cost me like $5. Saving money when we can, but let's get back home, patch that up, and take it for a drive. I actually had a little tiny mixing tray. For some reason I had to poke a hole in the white part of the tube because it was just spitting out the black. So I'm hoping that there's not too much black in this, like don't cancel me. So I want it to be able to actually seal, that's all. But it actually has a little tiny mixing tray. JB Weld, do you know what's going on? It's supposed to be a gray color. We're gonna just boop her up on there. Like so. I'm gonna do this because it's hard to do with two hands, and I'll get back to you. We are all back together. Everything is now hooked up on there with JB Weld. And that is about it for today, folks. Looks so nice and new in there. And I'm hoping this works because an $8 part can really fuck up your motor. Hopefully this works. I have a 195 thermostat, so when the coolant or the engine temp gets up to 195, that little flap door in there will actually open. It'll loosen the spring enough for it to open and kind of start flowing into there. Hopefully that works. Hopefully don't, overheat and like ping again. If it does happen, it's not a huge issue. I'd rather it be an $8 part than a motor to replace, but if not, then I might do a video with 185 degree thermostat, because that actually probably run a little bit cooler. Although these call for 195, these cars are old, people say global warming, literally fuck off. But anyway, that'll do for today. Stay safe, guys, and yes, buy that project car, because look I bought this shit for $600. I'm driving it daily. So let's get it.